Tech stocks in a broad sense are actually in decline. There are some outliers out there, to be sure, but the hopes and dreams of anything that's ad tech based, like socials and similar, may just be that. Dreams. Is the tech bubble 2.0 completely burst, or has the sector actually just been slowly losing air with more air to be lost in the future? On this Tech Tuesday, we are going to take a very close look at the current and the future quarterly reports that have investors becoming increasingly skeptical. Here we go. Let's start with the most amusing of the tech woe-begotten. Let's start with Twitter. Okay, Twitter, Elon is to blame for all of your woes. But not really. What is amusingly referred to as a surprise loss in this most recent quarter wasn't actually that at all. Dropping $270 million was a surprise, but things had been trending downward for quite some time. Private equity and heavy hitters have been carefully crafting Twitter's value, for a long time, and that has been giving some investors some confidence, artificially, that eventually the company would be consistently profitable. Well, probably not the way it's set up now. The problem is that, ads and advertisers can be quite fickle, especially when you refuse to be transparent about your perceived bot problem. In that sense, you can probably lay some of the blame at Elon's feet because, he's continuing to hound Twitter for bot transparency. It also wasn't confidence building that the alleged statement revisions around those bots changed mere days after Elon's purchase bid came through. That's not suspect at all. Ironically, it wasn't Twitter that started the pre-weekend tumble that we just had. It was Snap. And Snap is just not a for-profit venture, at least not that I've seen. It needs to be changed. Snap's CEO even told investors weeks prior that this quarter would be quite bad. This prompted analysts to lower their expectations, and they did not lower them quite enough. In fact, we'll get to more on that guidance. With a net loss of $422 million and a revenue expectation shortfall of over $30 million, you can rest assured that investors aren't sitting confidently, as leadership is now tied to employment contracts with Evan Spiegel, the CEO and co-founder, through January 1st of 2027. I'm sure a lot of people are very concerned with that. Now, for the sake of transparency, at least here on my channel, I will say this. Snap did warn, as I mentioned before, the SEC in a filing that was broadly distributed, that it expected to miss their expectations all the way back on May 23rd. They also have been highlighting a major problem with their business model and pretty much all of the other social tech services out there. Demand growth for ads has slowed significantly. There are even lower bids per action out there as the economy continues to, close in onto a recession, if we're not already there, which arguably, I think we're already in one. At least they've actually stepped into the stock buyback scheme that oftentimes companies use to, help bolster their stock support. Of course, a lot of times this is also done to underwrite some diluted actions that are taken on restricted stocks, like when they gift them to employees. Now, it's bad enough that Snap and Twitter are hemorrhaging at the moment, but we need to look forward into what's happening this week. The monsters of tech are about to report their quarterlies. You've got Meta, Apple, Microsoft, and Amazon. All of them are mega caps, much like, some of these others used to be. These are all expected to be lower than desired, in fact, much lower. And focusing on Meta specifically, since, they're coming up here soon, these lowered expectations have Meta posting earnings of around, these are expectations and estimates, by the way, $2.51 per share, which is a year-over-year loss of over 30.5%. The quarterly revenue anticipation is that it'll be substantially down as well. As these earnings estimates are from analysts that are always hoping for the best, this could be even more grim. I'm not sure it's going to be all that, but it could be. It could be more grim. There is room for some optimism, of course, when it comes to Meta. Of course, they're going to be reporting tomorrow, July 27th, so I'm not seeing a huge bounce, but we'll just have to see what happens. Sometimes less bad is okay. The overall stock decline for Meta overall in the last quarter was 21%, as opposed to the balance of the rest of the tech sector, which was 13.6%, so not quite as bad there. In all honesty, we've reached a saturation point in a lot of these tech industries, at least for the consumers. So I would say maturity has been achieved when it comes to the amount of time wasted on social media, at least over the course of the last 4 years. In fact, I have a staggering number for you, and if you've watched this long, it was well worth it. On average, people spend 145 minutes plus per day on their socials. Talk about a whole lot of lost productivity. My goodness. Google will likely fare far better this week as more and more content consumption is actually tilting towards YouTube. At the same time, they have the same problem. Their ad-driven model is going to experience the same economic pressures that all of these other smaller social platforms do. And that's going to go for the bulk of Google services as well. Anything that they're not directly monetizing, well, they do through ads, and those ads could be making less money. Let's put it that way. Suffice it to say, we may be in for a mixed bag of earnings for the balance of this week, at least in the tech world. But at the same time, we expect that Twitter, Snap, and Meta to be highly scrutinized going forward. And in fact, anything that's driven by ad tech should be carefully approached as the economy gets much, much worse. But I'll leave it where it is right now, and I'll ask you, what are your thoughts on the future of Snap, Twitter, and Meta, if not pretty much everything else that's in the tech sector? Feel free to use the comment section down below, and hopefully we can have a discussion about it. Of course, on this Tech Tuesday, I'm very focused on the tech stocks, but there are a lot of other stocks in various sectors that are also having difficulty, and I think that points to a broader problem in the market. But hey, your comments down below, very welcomed, and I'm glad that you watched this video. Be sure to support other independent creators out here on the platform, as they absolutely could and do need your help in order to grow and reach more people. So if you like something, be sure to hit the like button, share out the content that you really enjoy, make the comments, because it drives, well, it drives the motion of the growth motion, the growth motor per se, for any of these channels, because it's called interaction. And interaction is incredibly important when it comes to, YouTube and all of these other socials, by the way. With that being said, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.